the ground as he's like trying to move it somewhere, and he goes, okay, so we will have that ready one now. We will need to get the water running quickly through this. And if from your original memory of this, there's a building, and then there's a small stream that's like obviously where you get your water. That was small when you were there. You could clearly see there was a slightly bigger bank, and then the water kind of goes along the side, so you can put that into your stills. And it also is used for like there's some like small drainage stuff that you remember that were like built for like keeping the stills cool because you want to cool it down and all that stuff. Like that's you remember, and you can kind of see like roughly that's all there, but there's no water yet. And there's your man's like, okay, yes, we will have that ready for you by 5 days. We're going to get the water going, and then we'll test fit everything and make sure that there's no leaking in the stills. And yes. Okay, I presumed the building was more important than the brewing, but obviously, and he looks at you and he kind of just goes, obviously, you're no man for or you're some man for the drink. Sorry.
I've been living on a rock for a good 20 years of my life. I don't care how the building really like stands and how it is to live in. I just need this brewery to work.
He's like, yes, of course. And will it just be you, or will there be many others joining you to start the brewing?
It won't be many, but it will be some of my friends, yes.
He's like, okay. Now, you refused the last time to follow any of the safety protocols, but if you're inside that building and you and your friends and for sleeping, like we would advise against it unless you're willing to like put a hard hat on just to sleep, and it's very important that no one gets injured while they're asleep.
Don't worry, none of that will happen.
Well, you'll see. That we're holding back quite a lot of water for you guys, and he kind of just like. You can kind of see he's not worried, but like he's kind of he understands in his mind that like the pressure of the water and the vibration that could do damage to the building. But when you were walking through it, like they had loads of scaffolding or scaffolding like things to hold the roofs up in the ceilings because there's no rooms, so it's basically just massive. I say massive, it's like a 20 or 30 foot square structure. With no walls, internal walls yet. So like you have to have a lot of scaffolding. There's like the odd pipe or pillar in the middle. Excuse me. Jesus, I have so much indigestion and burping. But yeah.
So 5 days and you'll be fine, and the brewery will be somewhat ready.
Yes, it mightn't be perfect, but it'll definitely be functional. Yes.
Good. That's good to hear.
We did believe that it was very important for you to have living quarters as well. But if we don't have to work on the building for a few days, we can certainly have the brewing. We'll say functional. Like there'll be a few bugs, but like you'll tell us, and we'll have someone here because we'll be working on site at the same time. We'll try to keep out of your way, but we can't promise everything. But we'll do our best. We'll do our best. Yes.
I ask nothing more of you.
You didn't hire us because we were not the best builders you could find. We know you hired us because you believe that we can do the greatest job that you've ever seen.
And that is why I'm pressuring you to do better.
It's like yes. Rightly so.
Good. Well, if that's set, I'm looking to leave the building.
Cool. I'm like you're about like 5-10 minutes away. You've had like that conversation about 5 or so minutes, and you're looking around a bit, and you hear this. You hear like you feel a vibration slightly, and you're like good 200-300 meters away from the building, and you can feel a vibration, and you hear this massive like sort of like water being like high levels of water and like water pressure just being like flooded somewhere.
Dare I walk back?
Yeah, that's the question.
No, let's pretend I didn't feel it and just like yeah. I'm walking my way back to camp, but avoiding walking right past that house.
Yeah, so after if it only lasts for like 30 seconds to a minute, and as you're walking away it's slightly less, but like there was definitely vibrations and definitely a massive sound. The sound lasted about 10 seconds, you could hear like gushing water, like if like when you pull a pipe closed really quickly, you have that massive like stop, it's called stopcock, where like it smashes, or what's it, a hammer, water hammer sound, where it's like chunk and like stuff. If you heard that, you definitely know it's around you, but you're ignoring it, so it's fine.
They can handle it.
Yeah, that's it. Like, and it did stop relatively quickly, like in less than a minute. And as it got near the end, it was gone. But it was vast quantities of water in your mind.
Well, it's a working hazard. They warned me, and hopefully they were prepared for it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll just dazzle my way back to camp. Just needed to clear out that would be done in 5 days.
Yeah. They're convinced they'll have the still and everything up in 5 days. Not living. The building will be, you will not have progressed anyway, but they'll have the he's confident.
Yeah, and that's, well, I don't know about now, but I mean that's the last I heard from them. But yeah, anyway.
Yeah. Okay. What are you doing now? You going into town?
I'm just going back to camp. Yeah.
Okay. Adran, what are you doing for today? You're kind of slowly throughout the day. You've kind of slowly pieced together, especially talking to the monks or clerics. That you're definitely not in the same place. It is the same place. It looks the same to you, but like you're not in the same place.
Can I just ask? So is all that after the rabbit conversation or during the rabbit conversation?
Kind of meanwhile, I think.
Yeah, he set up camp and he had some food and he.
No. I just wanted to know. I want to know if he'd gone down to the guild whilst I was having the conversation with Trevor, or if he'd done it afterwards. Once the
I went away. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's cool. I'm just trying to keep getting my head around what the time is.
Totally.
Yeah, it's late. It's coming up to like dinner-ish, 6-ish. Like not. It's spring, so days go on to like 8 or 9-ish in this town anyway.
Okay.
Obviously, being
and how
spring.
far away is the town in terms of like time to walk there?
If I remember correctly, it was 10, 15 minutes down the road. Not long, but like enough that it's outside of town.
Yeah.
And people don't really come there. But you're at the farm bit, which is about 10 or 15 minutes, and then it was like a little bit further into the forest, but like you can see the forest. And the town doesn't really sprawl out. People stay in town.
I can't see the forest. The trees are in the way.
Sure. And Adran, you waited in the tavern for ages for the gnome, and then you all kind of met up in there and you had a conversation, and you have the chest kind of with you at all times. And then you all decided to go back to the forest. Have you done anything throughout the day?
Not really. Taking a day off sounds all right.
Fair enough. Let me just turn you up.
I mean, I guess like studying part of the history for the area. I mean, I say studying the history. I don't know. I would say like looking up history books, but I can't do that because we're back in time. But like,
well, sure.
Getting to know the place better, probably.
Just kind of trying to figure out, holy shit, this is there was 3 houses before, now there's only 2.
Yeah.
Well, it's actually 1 house now, but there was 3 or 4 before. And like, the wall's not in the same place, and you're kind of slowly piecing it together and trying to keep calm at the same time, because you can see the other 2 are calm. Yeah. Also, so you've had a kind of relaxing day, and the last couple days have been like quite extreme. You killed the were rabbit, you've got a whole bunch of hares, you've done a bit of a quest. I'm gonna presume you aren't doing much for the night. You've handed up all the. Well, actually, gnome, when you come back to camp after the hutches are made, the dwarf is like down the road a bit. Are you gonna then just try and get the rabbits over to Trevor as quickly as possible, or?
Well, the rabbits will just go. I'll just tell them to go in, and they'll go. But like.
Well, you'll have to get Mr. Nuts to escort them, because that's their leader.
Yeah.
Mr. Nuts is their leader.
Yeah.
Does Adran or Ebrus, you can kind of see the rabbits like moving as you're walking back to camp, just moving across the grounds towards them. Do you stop
Yeah,
them in
but
any way? Do you get?
I'm pretty sure under the understanding that even though not really wanting to, he probably means the best for the rabbits. Anyway, so yeah, I'll just let that happen. Not really
Begrudgingly,
knowing.
begrudgingly, but you'll let it happen.
Yeah,
Yeah, which is fair enough. And
So
Vulcan,
yeah,
go on.
I would say once the rabbits are in, I'm going to head into the town anyway.
You're gonna go back to
That's
town.
what-
Okay.
That's why I was trying to figure out like when the dwarf was doing this. Was it after or during and things like that? So
Okay. So you're just gonna hand in the rabbits and piss off the town,
well, no, I'm not going to hand them. They're all going to go into
the
the
hutches and stuff. Yeah, but you're giving them. You're just leaving them. You're leaving them in their beds or leaving them in their
Yeah.
place and then pissing off.
exactly.
Are you gonna leave Trevor? Trevor. Any
any information.
Yeah,
Anything.
like on how to take care of these things, or are you just gonna presume because he ordered something he hasn't a clue, or you're just gonna go there's some rabbits and piss off?
No, I'll leave him some instructions.
What type of instructions? I want to know the instructions you're gonna give him, like, because I think that'd be funny.
Feed them.
So step one: feed them every day, twice a day, 3 times a day. Come on, I want a funny list of stuff.
There's only 2 things. Like he's a farmer, he knows how to take care of animals. So
Yeah.
There's only 2 rules he has to follow. Don't feed them after midnight, and don't get them wet.
Okay. And then you write at the bottom, Peter, love from.
Mr. Nuts.
Okay.
And he puts his paw print on there.
Cool. I was gonna hope you'd come up with a new name so you'd even be more confused. But he doesn't have a clue who Mr. Nuts is. That makes no sense. He's gonna presume it's Jimmy Nuts. Yeah, so then you go into town. Vulcan, you've been like chilling out with the rabbits, kind of piecing together that you've now kind of come to terms with, holy crap, everything is different and the same. And wait, all the creatures I saw like a centaur, and yeah, that wasn't normal. And wait, some of the ducks weren't like the same, and you kind of piecing that together throughout the day. And now you see Ebrus. So the gnome took all the rabbits and moved them off somewhere, and Ebrus is now coming back to camp.
Yeah. I don't know much to do. Assuming the fire is still going, I'll try and make like another brew of tea.
Yeah, you do it easy. Like pine needle tea is not hard to make. It's boiling water.
I don't
pine
assume
needles.
it's hard, no. And I also have some wolf meat in my bag that I should probably be cooking.
That wolf meat's like 200 years old.
No, it's 200 years young, isn't it?
Yeah, it's.
Or not old?
Technically, yeah, actually, yeah, we've gone back. Yeah, so
he pulls it out, and
technically,
it's
is it even
just some
there?
eggs.
It is soon to be a wolf in 200 years. Don't worry.
But yeah, it
just
is.
had water, instant wolf.
Plant it, grow a wolf tree.
Okay.
Ignore and carry on.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's perfectly fine. Like the meat doesn't. You can you as adventurers and people who've traveled and eaten meat before. It's meat that's like been in your bag for a day.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We don't question the were-rabbit head, but yeah, the wolf meat, I'll cook that.
Oh yeah, you have a were-rabbit head in your bag, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
I forgot about that. Yeah, that's yeah. You cook the meat. It's fine. You share any? Just eat it yourself.
I mean, I'm not making a point of me wanting to share it, but I'm also not stopping people from.
Well, it's only
taking it.
Adran.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Okay. Where are you off to? I don't know what you like. It's up to you guys to tell me what you're doing roughly for the rest of this day. You can say the day ends for all I care.
Well, I'm heading into town. I'm going to try and find the Thieves Guild for someone.
The day can end for me. Yeah.
Okay.
Just tugging myself in, stuff like that.
You're gonna camp up at the edge of the forest again, yeah?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Adran, you're gonna stay with the gnome, or not the gnome? The dwarf. Or you,
The smaller one.
Malibris.
cool. You're looking for the Thieves Guild.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Obviously, I heard people talking about it when I was investigating earlier, so I know there's one about. I just now got to find it.
Yeah, you heard people talking about trying to rob someone. Yeah, it's not even like 2 minutes into the edge of the town where you see the docks being forged, and you hear the name of Thor. There's name of Thor. Thor's hammer is the symbol, but it's the Guild of Thor. The secret code word is thunder to this week. Like, these people are just so blatant. They're like, and honestly, in your opinion, they're a disgrace to thieves of how just blatant they're just. But they're just openly speaking about this, like,
Yeah.
like I don't know how to describe this in like a non slightly like racist-ish way, but you know when you're in Europe, like a European country, and the people you're asking someone a question and you're trying your best to like speak slowly and speak in English, and like they just decide to speak in Spanish or French or German or whatever,
Hola.
like, but they're being slightly like they're clearly just laughing at you because they understand what you're saying, but like because you're trying your, if you know like 5 or 6 words, you're trying to
Yeah.
like they're just being rude, and like these guys are just blatantly just doing something similar to that, where it's like blatantly just shouting around all this stuff because no one understands thieves can't, even though everyone kind of knows thieves can't. It's kind of a thing like when people speak thieves can't, it's like a known thing, so people know that, oh, those guys are thieves, we'll just stay away from them. These guys are just like that blatant. And you're like, yeah, you know roughly where it is. It's roughly somewhere in the temple like mount area. But you're looking for a black door with Thor's, like something similar to Thor's hammer, what you believe Thor's hammer would be. And you kind of half remember this from your few weeks of like being around this town, that you like from the description, you're like, this door, how is it the same door? It's got to be the same door because these people are idiots.
That's the one from the future.
Yeah, the one you think, it's like, it surely can't be that door they're on about.
Yeah. I'm like, no, it can't be that simple.
And you walk in that direction in the Thieves' Temple, and you're like, it's a little cleaner. Holy crap, it's the same door.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna knock on the door.
Um.
Tell him the password.
So you open the door, and there's a slit moves, and then the slit goes back, and then you hear like, so you hear another slit opening, and it's like there's just two eyes just looking straight at you, and it's like, yes.
No, I had this thing. The slit opens, and there's nobody there, so they close it, and then one that's halfway down the door opens.
That's exactly it. Yeah.
That's how I pictured it.
Yeah, so it's like one at 6. There's one at like five between like 5.5 and 6
yeah.
foot. That opened. They didn't see anything, so they opened up the one below.
Yeah, yeah. I'm just gonna tell him I need shelter for the night.
He's like, "You're not welcome here."
Well, okay. I'll tell him the password. I'll tell him. I'll tell him. I am welcome here. I'm.
Did you just
welcome.
the password was thunder? Just so you know.
Yeah.
You just say thunder because yeah.
Thunder.
And he
Yeah,
goes,
yeah.
"Oh," he's like, "In Thieves Can't, obviously."
Yeah.
And he goes, "Oh," and he says back in Thieves Can't, "Oh, sorry, sir. We haven't seen you before." And the door opens, and as it opens, you notice that like it's a very long hard. So the door is like, it's not even from like in the time currently. It's not a very big. It's like a small like door just in like an area of houses. There's a door in between. Like it looks like a little alley sort of thing. Like in some housing estates where you'd have like a door for like the back lanes that like everyone shares. It's like one of those shitty type of doors. It's a really long corridor into the house with like cobbled stones on the ground and like some like small, like, you've got night vision, don't you?
Yep.
Yeah, perfect. And there's some very small light coming from candles, very dark and dusty place, but like it's fine for you. And there's like a little well in the middle that's like 2-3 bricks tall, so like it doesn't even go up to your waist. It's that low. And there's a small stool, and there's a little like what looks to be like a little not a slave girl, but that sort of like, tatty clothes, is scrubbing the floors with like a brush, and she's I was gonna say thiefling, but like she's a halfling just scrubbing floors. There's no one else around, and he like not beckons you in, but he says, "Come in, come in, come in." And sorry for all the inquest. We don't obviously in Thieves Cant we don't allow strangers in this place. And as soon as you're in the door, he closes it.
Cool. I'll guess I'll head down the corridor then, past the little well and the cleaning girl.
Just looking for a bed, sort of thing, or
well, just looking for like, rooms. Obviously, this is just a long corridor / tunnel type thing.
As you go past the girl, the person who you basically walk past, he goes, "Wait, where?" And you notice it's a human. So obviously about between around 6 footish. He goes, "Where are you off to?"
I'm just gonna go and try and find somewhere to rest.
It's like first you have to pay. You can't just come in. There's a toll to come through this door.
What's the toll?
He's like, a silver for the night, and if you're looking for food, there might be more needed. I see you have a friend with you, Mr. Nuts. By the way, I presume is in your pocket.
Yeah, I'm in my pocket, on my backpack, on my shoulder, whatever.
Well, I presume he's not on show because he knows it's a different place, and he's trying to not just kind of jump out and go, "I'm Mr. Lutz, I'm the happiest thing in the world." He's
yeah, all right.
He goes, "I see you have a friend with you. Normally we charge more for pests like that, but I will let you off. Hope you won't. Are you planning to stay here long?"
Well, initially I'm just staying for the night.
It's like, good. This is not a place to stay for long periods of time.
But I will stay as long as is necessary to conduct my business. And if that means I'm here for more than one night, then I'm here for more than one night.
Do
and
I
if you
need
have a problem with that, then maybe we should take it outside.
Do I need to be concerned with this business?
No, it doesn't concern you.
He's like, very well, keep to yourself. And he goes down the corridor, the second door on your left. Should we just go to that door then?
Yeah, and as I'm walking away, I'm just gonna snidely tell him that he should learn some manners. Just because we're thieves doesn't mean we have to be thugs.
He doesn't he makes like a grunty noise. It's not aggressive, it's not passive, it's kind of just more of a, "This is my house, what the fuck are you doing?" sort of thing. But you don't think anything of it. But just to be aware, he's not hostile to you in any way, but he's more of, "You're just a little shit" sort of thing. If you're walking to that room, you notice on the right there's 2 doors that are very well spaced, and one of them is open and the one at ajar, and you notice like that's the kitchen area or some sort of area like that. There's a scent in this air of like not sulfur but something like shitty like that, if you get me.
Rotten eggs.
Yeah, it's not a nice smell in this area, in this temple. But yeah, and inside the room is just a really like bog standard shitty bed. That's like, it's you would expect, considering he was human, that there'd be human sized beds. It's a halfling sized bed, so it's like perfect sized bed for you. And there's like a small 3-legged stool in the corner. It's like basically a 2x2. It's like it's like basically it fits about the stool. And that's about it.
Well,
not much to it.
Puns intended.
Yeah. It's not a luxurious place. It's bed. It's indoors. It's not cold in the room either. And you notice that it's like you haven't seen a fire or anything like that, but it's not cold. It's very pleasant.
Cool. Then I'll put my backpack down and stuff.
Yep.
Mr. Nuts is gonna jump out and sit on the bed, and I'm gonna head to the kitchen area where the funny smell's coming from.
No, the funny smell's just in the air, but yeah, you head to the
kitchen.
kitchen.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna head into the kitchen area through the open door to look for some food, some bread, some cheese, and then if I find it, I'm gonna take it back to my room, shut the door.
Yeah, you find a loaf of like half a loaf of like decent bread. It's not stale, but it's not like it was made like probably yesterday, so it's not the most. I don't know if you're a trained chef, so you know that like when you make fresh bread, it goes off very fast. But it's about a day old. It'll be grand. It'll do the job, and you find like only a small bit of cheese, but like better than nothing. No one else in the room. And
I'll take the food and head back to my room then.
Yep.
I'll eat the food, talk with Mr. Nuts for a bit, and then I guess I'll go to sleep.
Yeah, so you've all noticed that like it's been a long ass few days, and magically through the power of gameplay, you're all going to magically, somewhat, when you wake up, feel a lot more refreshed and vitalized. So, e.g., you're going to get your health bonus for your level up now as you wake up. So, if you can all roll me your throughout the night.
D8, isn't it?
Yeah, I believe it is for. I can double check that.
I believe it's a
can't check that.
D6 for a wizard and a D8 for a rogue and a monk.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Something like that.
5.
And I assume our constitution is added onto that.
I believe so. I'm just gonna double check.
At least it is by standard rules.
Yeah, that's what we're doing. So.
Sweet. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
So
am the world's shittiest wizard. I
for
just got a 2.
yeah, but for those who are watching stream, the way I do health is level 1. It's max, whatever your like minimum hit dice was, whatever your maximum health could have been. You get that for level 1. Then from then on, you get whatever you roll, but a minimum maximum health of half of what you could get. So if your level 1 is 6 and your level 2 is 12, then if you rolled really shit twice and your maximum health was 12 and you only got 5 health altogether, you would just go to 6, because you can't have, in my opinion, you can't be so shit that you don't have any health by the time like you're level 3 or 4. You get me? So your first couple levels, it doesn't matter what you roll, because you're still above average for a while. But you can't be below half of your theoretical max, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
My webcam
That's what
doesn't
it's
seem
to.
to have updated
Definitely
on
should.
stream at least.
Here, did it update on? Oh, I see a 6 on this. Yeah, I could actually see who's on the other one. Let me try something and go back to grid, because I can see if all updated. There we go. Gotta love this. So Vulcan, you got a 2, did you say?
I got a 2.
Your max health is 10, and you're on 10 health. The rogue, you got a 6.
I rolled 5,
Oh, that's
but I get +1 if you add your constitution. I got 6.
yeah, that makes sense. So 9 and 6 is 15. Jesus, that's a lot of health for level 1. 15 of 15. And the dwarf.
I rolled a 6 plus 4, so that's from 13 to 23.
Yeah. Do you have any constitution?
Oh shit! I get plus constitution. That puts me on 12.
Nice.
I've got
Yeah.
2 for my constitution modifier.